Welcome to the CAPC meeting, October 26th. Let's do some roll call. Terry McClung.
I'm here.
Chris.
Here.
Ms. Slane.
Here.
Mark Hicks.
Here.
Patrick, I'm here. So we do not have a secretary at this time with Carol's leaving, and that will be voted on in January, so Madison is going to be doing the minutes. And let's go ahead and go through the approval of the minutes.
Motion to approve. Second.
Yes. All right. You guys want to take a second and read over them?
How many votes is required to pass? 4? Is that right?
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's just a majority in this situation.
It's the majority of the commission, and our total commission is 7, so it'll be 4.
Yeah.
You have, a quorum is 4 for our commission.
Right.
But if, Mr. McClung is not involved, you're probably going to abstain.
Well, no, I'll vote for it.
Okay.
No reason not to. I wasn't if it wasn't needed, but
Yeah.
to make it pass, I will.
Just let me know when you guys are ready.
All right, I'm good with it.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 All opposed? Okay. Minutes are passed. Next up, we've got public comments. I'll keep a timer.
Thank you. My name is Bo Satori. I live at 2 Fairmount Street. Just wanted to remind the community that my name will be and is on the ballot for mayor in this election, and all your votes will be counted, and I'm waiting for a court date from the appeals court about ruling on certification. So I hope everyone will get out, and I hope they will vote for me. And hopefully I'll at least come into second place, in which I'll be in a runoff, and that'll be a little bit more fair campaign. I would like everyone to, if they haven't had a chance, to look at the newspaper from last week when our police department closed their investigation into any criminality on the part of CAPC staff members. And that was a 2-year investigation with some oddities within itself, but with them having found no criminality amongst the staff of the A&P Commission, now hopefully they will look into some of the depositions and recordings of the commissioners, councilmen, and mayor into allege perjury on their part. So that is still coming. And last but not least, this morning I was told about an incident where Commissioner Slane's husband was out in front of his restaurant, the filling station, picking up litter and taking care of stuff, and Commissioner Patrick Burnett drove by and that morning slowed down, flipped off Mr. Slane, and screamed "F you." And if you need any evidence of that, of course, it's on video. It's on video. We have that on video. Well, we have it on video.
Show me the video.
All right, you can see it. But anyway, that took place this morning.
He waved,
Don't be cutting into my time. You can talk your 3 minutes later. And so beyond that, I encourage the new commissioners to be very careful with who you associate on here. And of course, Terry, I'm not talking to you, but these other characters, you need to be very careful. Thank you for your volunteering to be on the commission.
Liar.
How did I get labeled a character?
I'm Michelle McDonald, a returning resident, and I have something very important to address. and that is the fact that I have been collecting costumes for all these wonderful festivals and events for Eureka Springs. Several years ago, I found this t-shirt or sweatshirt, and there used to be quite an event here, Share the Spirit of Christmas. I'd like to see Christmas become a festival again, and something very special, along with all the other wonderful events we could have here. So however I can help in the dressing of this town, I know we are going to be having the Silver Tea, we're having the tour of homes, and the parade. So if you want to get a hold of me, or if anybody's interested, I do have the clothing. I'm doing whatever it takes to get this town back doing these wonderful festivals. I'd also like to add that the town is still cantankerous as ever, but I have learned from being gone since about 2015 that there is no town like Eureka Springs. This town is magical. It's got something that not too many towns have. So I'm really happy to be back. So please get a hold of me, Michelle McDonald, either Facebook or I think that's probably the best way to get a hold of me. So Terry, do you remember this festival? I don't know too many people that do, but let's bring back the festivals. I know COVID has kind of put a damper on a lot of that, so get a hold of me. I can make you into quite the Grinch.
Any more public comments? All right, let's move on. Approval of financials. Scott.
Do you want to make a motion to discuss, and then we'll go into them, or how do you want to do this?
Yeah, motion to discuss. Need a second.
Anyone?
I'll second.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry.
I've done a lot of homework since this is the end of the 9th month of the year. And also, before I leave, we need to make sure we approve the third quarter financial statements for CAPC that will go to the City of Eureka for approval, and they are included in your packet under A8. So that's in. I just want to make public comment that we get those approved as part of the approval process. We go into page A1, which is our financial summary. We had a bank balance, cash bank balance at the end of September 30th of $1,589,594.17. Unrestricted cash would be $1,496,391.16. The difference between that is the funding approved by the CAPC in May of this year of $107,433, and out of that amount, there's still $93,203.01 available to go toward for audiovisual or concession or payment to NAB holds. Now, that $93,203 does not represent anything other than what I told you there. So in the 2023 budget, we'll have to consider payment back to the city over a 4-year term, and I don't recall the amount, but it's around $50,000, somewhere in that area, for the next 4 years, plus any other additional expenditures that don't come to mind right now, but that would hit us in the 2023 budget. But I wanted to give an explanation of that area right there. I'd like to also point out that under Section A, which is still on sheet A-1, the year-to-date collections January through December are up $190,885, which is just under 10%, 9.5%. And that's year-to-date comparison. Under Section B, historical comparison, where you can compare where we were September of 2021, if you'll look at the bottom, you'll see year-to-date collections comparing January through September of 2022 to the same time period for 2021. We, of course, are up $124,956, or 9.5%. So, in my opinion, and I feel comfortable saying that we're leading into a strong fourth quarter, because what I also noticed today is that our tax collections for October, which we're into now, are up over $40,000. So that's just the sales tax collection part. So I think that this is the beginning of a strong fourth quarter, which would lead us to a budget that will exceed $2 million by the time we end December 31st of this year. Under page A2, you'll see the breakdown of our cash balances into those 4 different accounts. That's cash on hand according to the bank statements. Under A3, that's Miss Autumn's page. I like to say that. This is a breakdown based on tax remittance by the local collectors. And I'd like to point out that under A3, 84% of the collections in the food category were related to restaurants, with 9% related to cafe specialty type establishments. Under the lodging section, the motel ranked about 34%, and if you combine the Airbnb to the B&B, that is a 39%. So 39% of the total collections under lodging represent Airbnb and B&B sales, and also the motel was 34%. Under A5, which is your September financial report comparing actual to budget, we had income that was up little over 1% or $2,000. And to me, I was thinking, well, we're down. No, we're not. We just budgeted correctly for that month. That's what we did. And I was concerned about that, but after I thought about it a while, I thought, well, I remember basing these budgeted amounts per month on past collections, so we are right there where we were during that month of September a year ago, based on this report. Under A6, it shows our January through September 2022 to January through September 2021. And if you look under, it says total account 4005 tax collections, you'll see that for January through September of 2022, we collected $1,446,885.59, and then compare that to the same time period last year of $1,321,928.56. That's an increase of nearly 10%, or $124,957.03. Now, if you look at our total collections for that same time period, one section below that, we're up nearly 15%, or $191,544.45. A substantial amount of that increase comes to the odd concession and the odd revenue being generated. If you'll look under account 4020 odd income, for January through September of 2022, we've received just under $62,000. If you compare that to the same time period a year ago, which was $9,985, you've got about a $52,000 increase. So that's really shown a favorable growth in that area, and it shows it's being managed as opposed to the years prior. That's in my opinion.
Hey, Scott.
Yes, ma'am.
While we're on the odd concession topic, are we paying taxes on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Where does that come out on the budget?
It will come out as an auditorium expense
Okay.
under that category, so I match the expense with the income. I'll pay that. It'll be showing up about once every 2 months, depending on if we have activity during that month. I know the last month I don't think we did. But yes, ma'am, we do pay taxes on
We
that.
just pay state and county.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Under A-8, that is your third quarter financial report that will be presented to the city. It's basically taking July, August, and September, which we've discussed in prior months, except for this month, and combining them into one report and sending it over there. So if you look at those 3 months, July, August, September, we had sales tax collections of $609,000 $303.72, and our budget was $572,000, which is a $37,303.72% above budget, or 6.5% increase. The M1 schedule is a breakdown of the expenditures and what we bought for the dedicated money the commission dedicated for renovations to the downstairs, and that shows your breakdown at this point in time. This will be adjusted coming forward in October because we did have some expenditures, but I just want to show you that. And under pages S1 and S2, those are breakdowns over the past several years, showing the categorization of the income coming in and the sales reported, which tie back to the income statement that you approved. And the very last page is an additional handout that I received, and it shows your collections comparisons for over a 3-year period and how they have grown. And that's, like I said earlier, I'll close with this. As of right now, at this moment in time, our October collections are $42,925 above budgeted amount, or 28%, and we've still got another week or more of collections. So that's showing me that we're just now starting to see the forecast for a strong fourth quarter, and that's good. That's real good, because we have a lot of activity going on between now and the end of December. Yes, sir.
So this reflects the expenses through the end of September.
Yes.
And the revenues through August.
Correct.
Yeah, just double checking on that to see if it's still done the same way it always has been.
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay, and then I do have a few questions, if you don't mind. And,
sure.
And
tell me where you're at, so I'll.
Well, on A2.
A2.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm with you.
With the money in the bank that we have, what do we have outstanding for Paradise for this year?
Now that's a question you'll have to ask Madison, because as those bills come in, we pay them after they're approved. I don't pay anything unless it's been approved.
Okay, so you've not seen anything. You have no idea what we're on the hook for.
Well, that'd be correct. But based on the budgeted amount that we have remaining in the budget, which we discussed today, I'd have to guess around $60,000, $80,000, I would think, more to pay in this calendar year. But don't hold me to that just yet.
So we don't have any idea of what we're going to be required after the first of the year either in any.
It'll all come through for the calendar year. We'll pay it all that's due this year by December.
Yeah, I understand what's due this year, but then at the start of the year, as things kick off, it takes X number of dollars to get the ball rolling.
Sure. So we get a budget from them that you guys will all approve.
You don't do your own budget?
I'm sorry? Of course, yeah. As a total, do you mean as the CAPC?
Yeah.
We have a total budget, and then within that, we ask Paradise to give us
Their budget?
their budget as
Okay.
well. That
I'm
fits
with
into
you.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that was another question I had. When does the CAPC prepare their budget? It's supposed to be before the end of the year, correct?
Yeah, so we, at our last workshop, we talked about budget wants and needs and things like that for 2023. And then internally, we're preparing it now. And hopefully I don't make the agenda, but I would assume within the next couple of meetings, you guys will see it.
Yeah, November?
Yeah. I mean, I don't make the agenda, but I would, yes, I would.
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah.
I mean, you only got one meeting after that, really, as far as a scheduled business meeting
Yeah.
in December, and, okay.
Mr.
That, and then, I'm interested in that, of course. And then on A7, the auditorium income of $26,000. What's that? Be 20 or 40/20?
That's where the acts coming in pay us a rental fee of $3,000 if they rent the entire facility, or $1,500 if they rent half the facility.
Okay, so that's all rental fees
Correct.
from Little Wing or?
Correct. Yes,
Okay.
sir. That's right.
I was wondering about that, because that seems like more than what it's been in the past.
It is.
Of course, we haven't had shows the last couple of
Correct.
years.
Yes,
but
sir.
We're getting into that game again. Okay. Then, in conjunction with that, what is the $14,877 interest income? Where does that come from?
That is money earned from the bank, pays us because we have our money put it in their bank
I
account.
mean, this,
Interest income.
the auditorium has enough money into the bank to draw that kind of interest every year?
No, this is total interest earned to date of $14,877 based on the money balance that's at Cornerstone Bank.
For the auditorium?
No, for all monies.
Why does it go here? Why does it go under the auditorium?
It's not listed
I think
under
it's just at
auditorium.
the end, right before
That's
total.
the
It says,
Next paragraph.
it just says,
Interest
well,
income?
it's below event ticket sales in-house, so I just assumed that was all part of, so that's not related to the auditorium?
No, sir, it's not.
Oh, I see.
These are just different budget line items for income coming in.
Okay, that's, I
operation.
just need an explanation on that, because because it fell under event ticket sales in-house, I thought that was all part of the same thing, so, okay, so that takes care of that. The marketing support, have you got some outstanding on that yet for this year? You had budgeted roughly 30, and you've used 19 of it.
That was,
Yeah, I'll answer if that's okay.
yeah, go ahead.
We do. So there's only probably less than 10,000 that's outstanding for that. They haven't turned in their invoices yet. So once they do that, we reimburse them for marketing support.
Oh, I
So,
see.
Yeah.
Have you got any other, how does that work? Well, maybe I need to ask that later or something.
We can talk afterwards or later if you want to, but
Yeah.
what happens is it's approved by the commission and whatever the total amount is, let's say $5,000, that's typically what it is. After that, they advertise their event and we reimburse them for those advertisements, whatever it is that they do. So what we do is I track how much is approved and then how much they submit.
You don't do anything in-house anymore? I've got a particular event that had gotten market assistance for years, and they seem a little confused about the process. So,
I can send you the guidelines if you want.
well, I don't know, I don't need that. I need to probably come in and see you,
Sure.
and so I know better for the next meeting and
Yeah,
how I
of
need to
course.
approach it if I need to at all.
Yeah, of course, and you're more than welcome to send them my way, and maybe we have talked, but, yeah.
Well,
come
I
on in
think
and-
they've already been spoken with, so I need to get some clarification.
Yeah,
But,
sure, yeah,
we
just
can do
make a
that.
time, and I'm happy to sit down with you.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, I had down here, the capital expenditures, auditorium expenses of $9,976. What's that?
Terry, I'd have to pull that particular ledger item and look, but they're related to expenditures here at the auditorium operational, but I'd have to pull that if you don't mind. I don't-
And then that on down to $22,000 for operations. Is that utilities? Did I understand right that the auditorium, or that the CAPC is paying the utilities here now? Is that
They are,
correct?
but that's listed under the utility line item 6093.
Oh, okay.
Again, Terry, that particular line item is going to be related to, gosh, I can't think, just operational expenses that seem to go on here, whether it's cleaning up carpet, that was something that happened, that type expenditures.
Maybe I can come see you.
Sure.
For a little visit and get some orientation on everything.
I'll pull everything
It
in
would
that
help.
account.
Just, maybe you and I can go over this.
No
whole
problem.
thing, so I'm familiar with it when it comes time on the budget, that I know what things are.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, yeah, we'll just do that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any
Appreciate
other-
it.
You're welcome. You're
Appreciate it.
very
Thank you.
welcome. Any other
Any
questions?
other questions? Thank you, Scott.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Someone like to make a motion to approve the financials?
Make a motion.
Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to approve the financials.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Next up is Madison, Director's Report.
Okay. I won't be able to take minutes while I'm doing this, but I'll rewatch. Okay, so let's talk about September. So we saw the same normalization for visitor volume in comparison to our 2021 numbers, but we also saw the same visitor spend, which was on par year over year, which means that the visitors are spending the same amount of money in market as they were in 2021, even though we had less of them. Little Rock was number one in our top 10 DMAs in terms of overall spend, and the Fayetteville, Arkansas DMA generated the most overnight visitors. 65.7% of our visitors stayed overnight, and 79% came from out of state. So over the last couple of weeks, I've had a few stakeholders reach out to me and mention that they just kind of wanted some clarification about how we get this data. So I've talked about this before, but let me talk about it again. So we get a lot of this data from our partnership with Zartico. It's a data intelligence platform. So we actually get it through NADA, our partnership with NADA, the Northwest Arkansas Tourism Association. But I know I've told you guys this before, but we have partnered with them for the upcoming year. And so we will start to get more detailed information as that platform launches, because we'll see it from a city standpoint as opposed to a regional. So we had 1.4 billion estimated impressions in September, and that puts us at 3.9 billion year-to-date estimated impressions. Moving into paid media, the summer fall campaign continued its momentum with a 19% click-through rate. Expedia and Mobile Fuse continue to be our top performing media partners, and our video placements at a 97% video completion rate. I think the industry standard is somewhere around 72 to 75. And I think this is due to our organic social media content. So during September, we saw increases, and this was due to including more dynamic content and inclusion of event promotions. Specifically, event promotions prompted higher engagement, so people are tagging each other, they're clicking through, they're buying tickets, they're doing all of those things, going to the other sites, whatever it may be. So this increases engagement. That content performs really well on our Facebook page specifically. Our Always On campaign was running with the objective of driving awareness and engagement. Organic social, we saw increases across the board. We increased in followers, engagement, awareness, impressions, and reach. This is due to the incorporation of partner promotion, dynamic content, and event-focused content. You can see our top Facebook posts there. One of them is about zombie crawl, which we're all excited about. Another one was the Thorn Crown Chapel. Everyone loves seeing pictures of them. Website highlights. Again, the home attraction things to do and events calendar pages are the most visited. This tells us that our visitors are excited about learning about how to move around in the destination, what to do in the destination, things like that. Our average session duration was above 2 minutes. This tells us that our visitors are engaging with the content on our website. They're staying there for over 2 minutes, which is great. And 98% of website visitors were new visitors. This is largely because to the launch of additional paid media campaigns, which drives to our website, right? You click through, it goes straight to our website. And our top states of origin for the website was Texas, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, and Illinois. It's exciting. It tends to be the same 5 over the last few months.
Yep.
And that's what I have. Do you guys have any questions?
No.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madison. Molly?
Okay, hello everybody. So I just have a quick rundown of Auditorium, Folk Fest, and then the events calendar. So we can start off with Marty Stewart. That was a great show for the Aud. We had about 750 people in seats. We made $4,388, which is a combination of concessions and rental. And of course, we had to pay staff and security, as well as a bit of supplementary inventory. This coming Friday, we have Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, which was rescheduled from June. So we have some awesome pullover from that show of people deciding not to come in June, but to now come in October. So it looks like we're about on par for the same numbers, about 750 people. So hopefully that'll grow due to people just in the destination due to Zombie Crawl. And then the following Friday, we have the Dirty 30 tour during Diversity Weekend, which will be a really fun show. Moving down to Folk Festival, we've had our ads running for weeks now. They're really starting to pick up closer to the festival. Our merch has arrived, which I forgot to bring one up and show you guys, but they're super cool. Wicker Walker did the printing, and they do a lovely job as always. And then I wanted to make a note about poster distribution. So I tried to get around to as many stakeholders as possible to get them posters, but I can't always get to everybody. So anytime anyone's around the CAPC office, I'm more than happy to print off as many posters as anyone would like, and that's including the special events calendar, folk festival, anything else that they've seen, you know, that we've produced. And then that brings us to the November special events calendar, which you all have on your stations. And of course, the special events calendar can be modified at any time if there's any events I've missed, but I try to scour the internet as much as possible to include everybody in there.
Thank you.
Molly?
Yeah.
This may be a silly question, but do you send out newsletters to the collectors and that, so they're aware of everything that's going on beforehand? And
Yeah, so we actually have MailChimp with, it's a platform where you can send emails to multiple groups of people. So we have access to MailChimp, and I've tried to figure out the most inclusive way where I can really, you know, include everybody. So the way I've been doing that now is through our Facebook page, which anyone is free to join. And I found that we have the biggest audience on our Facebook page, and it's only really for locals. That's the only reason it's private, is so a tourist doesn't get in there and see, you know, non-tourist things. Things are more that are for the community. So I'd say our Facebook page is probably the biggest way that I get this calendar in front of, you know, locals' eyes.
but you do both?
Yeah. I need to pick up more with the MailChimp, but right now primarily Facebook is the best tool.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for Molly?
No.
Thank you, Molly.
Thank you all.
Next up, agenda updates. Anyone want to add anything to the agenda? All right, new business, holiday lighting.
Sure, I'll take this if you guys
Thank you,
want me
because
to.
I don't know anything about it. It's sprung on me.
So these are two actual handouts that I have for you guys because I thought it would be easier for you to look at it. In the last couple of weeks, I was reached out to from the mayor to consider helping the Parks Department fund holiday lighting / decorations. So if you'll look at this handout first, and I'll just read through it, but so essentially the Parks Department is requesting that the CAPC match the combined funding from City Council and Parks for holiday lighting and decorations. The request is $15,000. This is a matched budget from the Parks Department's original holiday lighting budget that they had for this year, and City Council, I believe, just approved $12,500. So it's a matched budget. It's a matched request for both of their budgets combined at $15,000. And then just a couple of notes that I thought it would be good for you guys to have. It's going to be a reimbursement to the Parks Department. So they'll purchase it, we will reimburse them for that. They'll show us their receipts, everything that we do when we reimburse anybody. The lights or decorations will be put on public property only. So city-owned property, like Planer Hill, things like that. And it's going to be facilitated through the Parks Department. So they'll put it up, they'll take it down, they'll store it, all of that. So your second sheet here, this is a spreadsheet that Scott Miskell gave me. It shows you what they're buying. The left side shows you where it's going. So if you guys have any questions about that. And just another note, I should have put that on your handout, but Scott and I have looked at the budget, and we've found where we think we can take it out of for this year. We have a little bit of extra money in a couple of places that we think we can take it out of and move to fund this. So we have money that you guys can approve it for. Do you guys have any questions?
Have we done this before?
It is my understanding, not while I've been here, but it is my understanding that CAPC has either funded parks to do something similar, as well as I think they've bought decorations themselves to give to parks. So I think so, yes.
What did Parks spend last year on lighting?
I don't know that. I'm sorry, Terry.
No, go ahead.
I should also say, it seems like this is kind of to put them up to speed as far as lights go. And Autumn and Terry, you guys might have more information on this than about what Parks is spending on, because I think you got probably the same type of thing.
I do have one question on this sheet first.
Sure.
And that is, it looks like the bottom line is 39,000?
I think that's what I understand is, I think that's what, if they got everything they needed, it would be they wanted, it would be $39,000. But the ask is for us to just fund $15,000.
We did approve, I thought it was 15,000 at city council meeting.
Oh, okay.
I think it's what it was.
It's 12.5.
I think
it 12.5?
I was told it was 12.5, am I wrong?
Maybe-
Yeah, I
Okay,
think it was
I don't
12.5.
recall the exact figure, but I was thinking, anyway, regardless of that, it was not explained to us, at least at the meeting, that anybody else was going to be ponying anything up. It wasn't talked about it being a match or anything.
They just, I think Butch maybe have mentioned this to me, I'm not sure when, maybe a couple of weeks ago, and then I met with him and Scott on Tuesday, just to talk about what the actual ask was. The request was in total $15,000. Was it going to be only on public property? How was it being facilitated? How's it being bought? We will reimburse it, things like that. So I don't know anything other than that.
Is anyone confirming with Parks with what they already have and where is it all housed and the condition it's in? I mean, this, I've been around a little while,
Sure.
and this is a problem, because it gets used, doesn't get stored well, and it ends up being trash or lost.
My understanding, what I asked was, are we expected to store it, facilitate the purchases or anything like that? And they said, no, Parks would store it. I don't know the condition of what they have currently.
I'm with you, Terry. I would prefer to have a better breakdown of what this is actually going to and how it's going to be handled.
Well,
It's a little loose.
I don't know how they're going to get it in place for this year.
Sure.
Maybe they can. And I didn't see anything on here that says that, if that's what they're trying to do, because it's going to be, got what, less than 30 days, so they got to start putting that stuff up.
Yeah, right. So I think we discussed that a little bit. I believe that, excuse me, that there were a couple of things that they could not get, but that they are going to get, I think most of it from Home Depot and things like that. Maybe not most of it, but some of it. It seemed as if they were pretty certain they would be able to get the things that are on your list in front of you in time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we'd probably put it in next year's budget.
And, I mean, it looks like, that the CAPC is very cash heavy. I've never seen it like this before. If that's the case, we should be advertising more, but that's another subject for another night. Okay, it kind of took me back that this was on there, because we had approved that the other night at council and didn't realize that they were pushing for more from anybody else, but, okay, I'm just trying to get,
I'm curious why it wasn't brought up at that meeting. And did they show these numbers?
No.
I don't know that.
Well, that's kind of
This is just
sketchy.
what they gave me.
I mean, I hate to say that.
Well, I think what's going on is there's been a group of people in town that have been pushing this for months, since April, wanting to have decorations, or at least ours, cleaned up. And nothing was done until the last council meeting, and Bush tried to push it through. That's what's going on, from my point of view. I do think that we need to focus more on holiday. I think it's unfortunate that we're here, like, doing it at the last minute.
It's the way we do everything, unfortunately.
I'll second that.
Yeah, truth.
Yeah, they gave me this, this document 2 days ago. So, I mean, I told them I'd be happy to ask you guys, and it's up to you. I mean, it's just.
So how do you feel this would contribute to tourism?
I think that we get on a lot of lists that get regional coverage that talk about how we are kind of a holiday light town. And so the way Scott Miskell explained it to me is that we're kind of under par what we should be as far as lighting displays and things like that if we're going to be listed as something like that, which is great, right? And so I think there's a good customer retention, right? If they are promised this great thing that these people are writing about and they come here and it's kind of subpar, that's not great. It's not indicative of the destination, right? And I agree, like with what Autumn said, is that there's been a lot of talk about this, and it's been kind of an issue getting it pinned down a bit, and so it sucks that we got it just a couple of days ago, but I think it's a really good compromise, in my opinion, and it'll be facilitated by a city entity like parks and things like that, and so I think there's a lot of wins. I understand that it's late in the game a bit, and so either way, I think next year we have to start looking at this a little more ahead of time, and maybe that's not decorations, but maybe it's a bigger budget specifically for Q4 marketing in regards to Christmas decorations and lights and things like that. So I think there are a lot of wins, but I also understand if it doesn't work out for you guys for this year, but
I think it could be something that would drive day visitors, so
Right.
be very beneficial for restaurants, but to kind of your point, it's got to be done right.
sure.
And this doesn't seem like it's
And it kind of,
that much, I don't know.
I was just talking, I think to Patrick just a little bit ago about how I'm about to film 2 TV segments for next week talking about holiday shopping and events and things like that, and so it's kind of drive time radius, So it goes with that, but I understand it's kind of late in the game, so.
It has to be, they're installed in conjunction with Public Works. Public Works has the bucket truck and all that, and that's,
Sure.
How so much of it gets put up. So, and that's fine. Between the two, apparently they feel they can get it done. And what it's always been is, the purpose is to extend our season into the Christmas holidays, so everybody does
Right.
more business. That's what it's all about. And we've had great parades in the past, and we've had great lighting projects, and we have done really well when that is in place. So, I'm for it. It looks like we have the money to do it, so I make a motion that we approve the funding.
I'll second that.
All right. You want to do a roll call vote?
So can I ask another question first?
Yeah.
So you said you've identified where you're getting the money. Where is that?
It's going to come out of, I don't have my budget right in front of me, but it'll come out of, we didn't spend as much as we thought we would in, I believe it was graphic design and one other, there was a video production line that we didn't spend as much money as we thought we would. And so I think between the two of those, or maybe even just one of them, we think we can take it out of that. We'll have to move it to a different line, and Scott will do that. And you guys will have to probably approve that when that happens, so.
So Terry, during the council meeting, you voted no for the $12,500.
For a different reason.
Was there a reason?
Yes. The reason was because they took it out of being Christmas, and they had to make it a holiday festival.
Well, there's
Then
lots of.
leave them up year-round.
There's more religions than just that. I mean, there's lots of holidays that happen. for a
I
lot of
understand,
people.
but
To exclude them is,
who is excluding anyone? We're not excluding
it's
anyone.
just trying to,
Trying to what? It's Christmas.
That's your opinion. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
there's some
correct.
people that it's Hanukkah,
That's right, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's fine.
so they're just trying to be inclusive.
Point of order, there's a motion on the table.
And I called for a roll call vote. Right? You guys ready? Terry?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Autumn?
Yes.
Mark?
Yes.
I don't have to vote. All right, well, that's that.
Okay.
Any commissioner comments?
I think on one of our future workshops, we should really brainstorm on holiday lighting stuff with some sort of hope that there could be a public partnership to do something really spectacular.
Yeah.
Because I don't think that I think it would cost a lot more money than this to do something spectacular. And it could happen. Get enough people.
I'm down.
Yeah, just something that's been kind of on my mind that I think would be a good thing is that maybe early spring or sometime before that the CAPC would have some kind of a business social aimed at public relations with, bringing in the layout for the ads for the coming year, that kind of thing. Even more of a kind of a mixer thing, and invite everybody to it and get them involved. I think that's important. And get it all where it's a community again, and get that back into the picture. So, and even invite the retailers too. Although they're not collectors, they're still a part of the tax base of the community. And so I think that's a good idea. But that's something that can be talked about.
Autumn?
I just want to welcome Chris and Terry. Thank you, guys.
Mark?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
And I also want to welcome both of you guys. Thank you, Chris, for coming on board. Terry, thank you for filling in for the rest of the year.
Pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
I will miss the workshop. I'm going to be out of town.
Well, and they talked about during city council, not city council, it was during the city council, they were asking, were any decisions made? And I'm not sure, Madison, were any decisions made? During the last workshop, they talked about, Mark, you and Chris were there, combining the two meetings for the 9th, and that's the one you can't make it, right, of November?
November, yeah, I won't be here.
They talked about combining the two meetings because of people traveling, but maybe we'll just keep them as they are. And
Yeah, it's scheduled for the day before Thanksgiving, which it's okay with me. Traditionally, they used to not do that, but it's okay. I'll be here.
I'm going to be here for Thanksgiving. We got a week full of guests, so we'll be here.
I'll be here.
What's it take to move it to one meeting?
Just us talking about it, consensus.
I suggest we do.
Yeah. Well, why don't we do that during the workshop?
Okay.
And settle it. You won't be there for the workshop, but we'll figure that out.
Okay.
Okay? And then we'll just chat with you and let you know, keep you informed. That'd be great. Well, thank you all. And do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right. Thank you, guys.